Hari Om, dear children. I am welcoming you all for today's science class. Before we start the class, I request all of you to sit straight, close your eyes, and do the prayer. Get ready to do Om chanting 3 times. Breathe in. Om. Breathe in. Om. Breathe in. Om. Sahana bhavatu, Sahanau bhunattu, Saha viryankaravavagai, Tejasvinavati tamastu mavid vishavahai. Om Shanti Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. I hope you're all ready with your classwork note, pen and pencil. Dear students, in our last science class, we have started with this lesson, plants. Under this lesson, we have seen what are the primary importance of plants, and we have also learnt about how plants reproduce, its kind. So in order to reproduce, the plants need flowers. So the flowers are of two types, unisexual and bisexual flowers, and the reproduction taking place in plants is through pollination. So in order to know what is pollination, you have also learnt what are pollinators and pigments of flowers. So in today's class, you're going to understand the process of pollination in plants, and you are going to identify the different types of pollination, and also to differentiate monocotyledons and dicotyledons plants. So what are the topics of today's class? Pollination, types of pollination, monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Let us learn one by one in detail through the following video.
Pollination is the process of transferring pollen grains from anther to stigma. It is the important process in the production of fruits and seeds. There are two types of pollination. Transferring pollen grains from anther to stigma of the same flower is called self-pollination. Transferring pollen grain from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of different plant of the same type is called cross-pollination. Pollination takes place by agents like wind, water, and animals. Pollination by wind is anemophily. In this type of pollination, the pollen grains are non-sticky, dry, light, and powdery. Grass, maize, pine are pollinated by wind. Hydrophily, pollination by water. Mucilaginous covered pollen grains. In plants like Vallisneria, Hydrilla, entomophily, pollination by insects. While collecting honey from one flower to another, the legs of honeybee are dusted with pollen grains or transferred to another flower. The ovule undergoes fertilization and becomes seed. Hummingbird, ants, bats carry out the pollination of plants in similar way. Plants are classified as monocotyledons, dicotyledons. In monocotyledon, the seed has single cotyledon. Root tissue, seed coat, cotyledon. Embryonic leaf and embryonic root. Embryonic leaves, embryonic shoot, embryonic root with two cotyledons covered by seed coat. Bean, castor, pea, maize, wheat, rice or dicotyledon plants. Monocots have fibrous root system, whereas dicots have taproot system. Monocot leaves have parallel venation. Dicots have reticulate venation.
Dear students, at first we have understood what is pollination. So, what is pollination? The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma of a flower is called pollination. Once again, what is pollination? The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma of a flower is called pollination. Pollination is the first important event in the development of fruits and seeds. Pollination is followed by fertilization. Dear students, you must note down these things. Pollination is the first important event in the development of fruit and seed. Pollination, which is followed by the process called fertilization. So, there are two types of pollination takes place in the flowering plants. They are self-pollination and cross-pollination. I hope you have also understood with these two concepts from the video. So, the transfer of pollen grains from the anther of a flower to the stigma of a same flower is called self-pollination. The transfer of pollen grains of a flower to the stigma of another flower of a different type of the same species is called cross-pollination. Once again, I'll tell you what is self-pollination. Self-pollination, as I told you already, it is taken place in bisexual flowers. In the bisexual flowers, it contains both androecium as well as gynoecium. So, the transfer of pollen grains from the anther, that is the male reproductive part of the flower, is being transferred to the female reproductive part of the flower stigma of the same flower is called self-pollination. Then, what is cross-pollination? In this cross-pollination, mostly unisexual flowers taken place. So, the transfer of pollen grains of a flower to the stigma of another flower of a different plant, but the species are same, is called cross-pollination. In self-pollination, seeds produce big plants and new varieties of plants cannot be produced. But in cross-pollination, seed produce good plants and new varieties of plants also being produced. So, the pollination takes place through different agents. Those, the pollination takes place through different agents. Those agents are wind. Wind is air. Water. You all know water. And insects. So these three are very important in order to conduct this pollination process. So what are the three pollination agents? Pollination by wind, which is otherwise called as anemophily. Dear children, repeat. Pollination by wind is anemophily. Pollination by water is hydrophily. Pollination by insects is entomophily. Let us learn one by one. Pollination by wind, which is otherwise called as anemophily. Spellings are very important. So kindly note down the spellings for pollination and anemophily. So what is anemophily? The flowers pollinated by wind are mostly small in size and do not have any attractive color, smell and nectar. The pollen grains are non-sticky, dry, light and powdery. Hence they are easily carried by the winds. Example, grass, maize and pine. What you have noted in the video. And then second pollination is taken place by water, which is otherwise called as hydrophily. Hydro means water. The flowers of water plants are not colorful and they have no nectar also. So pollen grains of these plants have mucilaginous covering to protect them from getting wet. They float in water and reach the other plant. Example, Vallisneria, Hydrilla and Josteria. So, in these plants, the pollen grains are used to carry with the help of water. That is what it is called as hydrophily. The next one is pollination taken place by insects. So, it is otherwise called as entomophily. This is the most common type of pollination taken place in many plants like sunflower, lady's finger, brinjal and pumpkin. So, these flowers are very large in size, no? And it has a pleasant smell. So, these flowers are attracted by insects. These insects go and sit on the flower while it is taking the nectar, okay, honey. The pollen grains are used to stick at the legs of the insects. And it is attracted by flower, no? So, it starts moving from one flower to another flower. So, the pollen grains what stuck in the legs of the insects is being transferred to another flower through this insects. That is what it is called as entomophily. Apart from these things, we must know fruit bats, hummingbirds and ants are also act as the pollinating agents. If the pollination taken place by birds, it is called as ornithophily. What is it? Ornithophily. So, students, we have learnt 4 kinds of pollination. Those are anemophily, hydrophily, entomophily, and ornithophily. The next process. Dear students, after the process of pollination, fertilization takes place. What is this fertilization? Fertilization is a very easiest and simple process. It is a process of fusion. Fusion means mixing of male and female gametes. Male gametes are pollen grains and female gametes are stigma. When this pollen grain mixes with the stigma, it will result in zygote. So the fused portion we call it as a zygote. So after some period of time, the zygote will slowly develops into embryo. Dear students, after the process of pollination, fertilization takes place. What is this fertilization? Fertilization is a very easiest and simple process. It is a process of fusion. Fusion means mixing of male and female gametes. Male gametes are pollen grains and female gametes are stigma. When this pollen grain mixes with the stigma, it will result in zygote. So the fused portion we call it as a zygote. So after some period of time, the zygote will slowly develops into embryo. Okay. In fertilization process, the zygote has developed. It has developed because of the result of fusion of male and female gametes. We all know that. So what is the result? Fertilization gives you embryo, right? So this embryo will further develop as fruits and the seeds formed. So this fruits and seed formation is happening after fertilization. So after fertilization, the ovary grows into a fruit, and other parts of the flowers and all, it will fall off. Thus the seeds develop from the ovules. So we all know that the fruit contains seed. So the seed contains an embryo which is enclosed in a protective seed coat. Then the seeds will develop into a new plant. So plants are of many types. Among many types, most of the plants belongs to the division angiosperms. So this angiosperm plants can again be divided as monocotyledons and dicotyledons. You must know about these two. What is monocotyledons? Mono means one. Coty means seeds. So if the seed have only one cotyledon, it is called as monocotyledons plants. Mostly the plants which have developed from this seed will have parallel venation, what you have seen in banana leaves and all, and it also contains fibrous root system. So the example for this kind of plant is maize, rice and wheat. Next, you have to know about dicotyledons. Di means two, coty means seeds. So, having seeds with two cotyledons, it have knitted venation and it contains taproot system. So what root system? Contains taproot system. Examples for this dicotyledons are pea, bean, castor, mango seed, etc. So dear students, in today's class you have learnt what is pollination, types of pollination, fertilization and seed formation, monocotyledons and dicotyledons. So now you can understood how plants do pollination, and you can also able to identify under which kind of pollination the plants have grown up, and also you are able to identify the type of pollinating agents, and you may differentiate the monocot and the dicot plants from the seeds. Thus, these are all very important to know how plants serves for our earth. So please save plants, save our earth. Thank you. Hari Om.
Open your eyes, look towards the right and towards the left, towards the right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Close your eyes, feel your eyes, and with each exhalation imagine you send relaxing energy, light energy from your abdomen to your eyes or through your eyes. Open your eyes again, look up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Close your eyes, feel your eyes, and with each exhalation send relaxing energy from your abdomen to your eyes and through your eyes. Open your eyes again. Now look to the upper right, lower left, 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 upper right, lower left. Close your eyes. Send relaxing energy to your eyes. Open your eyes again. Look towards the upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right, upper left, lower right. Close your eyes and send relaxing energy from your abdomen towards your eyes. Open your eyes again and make no circular movement clockwise. Look up and then slowly to the right and to the bottom and to the left and up to the right, down, and continue a few times. Try to make it complete circles and not just squares. This practice also helps to harmonize the two hemispheres of the brain. No, other direction, counterclockwise. Do slow conscious movement. And slowly close your eyes and feel the relaxing energy of your abdomen go into your eyes. Now open up your eyes again and stretch out your right arm, thumb, the level of your eyes. Look towards your thumb. Look far away. back to your thumb. Now look towards the tip of your nose, to your thumb, far away, your thumb, tip of your nose, thumb, far away, thumb, tip of your nose, thumb, far away, thumb, tip of your nose, thumb, and far away. Close your eyes, lower your hand, breathe a few times, and send relaxing energy into your eyes and through your eyes. Now, lift up your hands a little bit and rub your palms, warming up your palms and increasing the life force, the prana in your hand and your hand chakras. Put your palms over your eyes and feel the energy of your palms radiate into your eyes. Feel that calming, soothing, relaxing energy. Slowly relax your hands, lower your hands. And one more time, rub your palms, developing warmth in your palms, feeling the energy in your palms. And put your palms over your eyes and feel the relaxing energy of your palms radiate into your eyes. Slowly lower your hands. Remain seated for a few moments. Breathe a few times deeply. Feel the relaxation of your eyes, relaxation of your mind. You can do this wonderful breathing exercise every day. Your eyesight will improve. You don't need to get headache. And you come to clearer and clearer insights. Lisa and Sukadev wish you a day full of...
Purnamata Purnamitam Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnashya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti